Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. Let's talk about this one stock here that ran 500% plus. Nope, we're not talking about right stock. We're talking about ASNS. A lot of people reaching out to me telling me, yo, what happened with the stock? Talk about the stock. What is its relevance to QIND and Ilus? Well, none. First of all, there was no sympathy run on Ilus. Nor was there a sympathy run on QAND, nor was there a sympathy run on SAML. So this stock, ASNS, as far as I'm concerned, it did absolutely nothing. Wow, trading halted to the downside, I assume. Let me check. Maybe not. Maybe it's halted to the upside. But either way, I wouldn't chase ASNS. I would let it sit there. I don't know what it has to do with Ilus. People keep asking me, and I'm like, it has nothing to do with it as far as I'm concerned. The share price didn't move at all. But I did buy in. I did alert in the premium Discord. If you want to join, the best time to join is at the beginning of the month. But yeah, oops, this is 300 shares of Riot at 8.90 for a swing. Where's the alert that I put out today? There we go. I just had $2,000 worth of shares here at 0084 for a swing. First position, we'll add more if it comes down. So there you go. Plenty of alerts. And we're just sitting pretty on some bottoms here. But yeah, I think I've been saying this. You can't say that I haven't been talking about this. I specifically said if you're gonna buy Ilus, buy Ilus. That is the one to buy in my opinion, because we know that it directly benefits from its subsidiaries uplisting, but and it's cheap. It's at 0084. So I think eventually we will get enough volume into Ilus that we will have our big run. And that's why I loaded today. I was like, it's a 008. I'm gonna add $2,000 here. I'll probably add more if it comes down to 007s, the low 007s, and then if it comes down to 005s, I will add a third position there. So let me just tell you the game plan, because this is what we like to do on this channel. I'm not just some guy that talks and points at a chart. I actually do have skin in the game, unlike most YouTubers who just blah blah blah, but they don't even tell you a game plan. They just tell you, hey, good luck. Okay, so first position here, second position at 007s, low to mid 007s. Third position I would be looking to add at 005s, mid 005s to be specific. We did this. I did this before. The game plan last time was the same. I bought it 1-2, then down here at 8s and 9s, and then it had that run up to 1-2, sold for a profit, and yeah. So these are your buy targets. So let me mark that for you. Take a picture is what I tell people. So buy target number one, and then the next one down here, real close by. Buy. We might never see 005s, if I'm being honest. I would be shocked because they are following through on that QIND uplist. Unfortunately for QIND shareholders, people bought. Why did you buy QIND? Let me ask you guys. Why did you buy QIND? I know some of you bought because uplist. If you bought for long term, you're still getting screwed, right? Because long term it's just been going down. A lot of people holding a giant bag on QIND, just like they're holding a giant bag on Ilus. What did people want to see? They wanted to see this 500% plus run on Ilus, on QIND. So anyone holding these two stocks, or even Samuel, anyone holding these stocks, did you directly benefit from ASNS uplisting if you're not holding ASNS itself? No. So I get that QAD was acquired. I get it, but ultimately, anyone holding these bags, they're still in the red. Like if you're in the red, you're still in the red. So unfortunately, what we want to see is that with these stocks. That's what I'm trying to get at. So here's your buy targets. Let me put the sell targets here. So my sell targets, the first one would be 1-2. That's going to be the first sell target. So sell target. Actually, no, that's sell target number 2 because we know we'll get some. No, actually, I was gonna say 1 cent, but we kind of just broke through 1 cent like it was butter. Like 1 cent wasn't even a psychological resistance. We just blasted through it. So I think 1-2 followed by 1-5, and if we get another huge run like last time, oh, okay, not a run because some people are still messed up from 2021. They still have 2021 mentality. They think if it's not running 10,000%, it's not a run. But let's adapt to the markets, please. We're not living in those times anymore. And 3 cents would probably be around the next sell target if we get that big of a green candle like last time. So sell target number 3. And there you go. That's the game plan. The stop loss, I don't know what the stop loss would be here. I don't think that I didn't even set a stop loss last time. I don't think it's necessary. When you find a stock that's bottomed out, it's not necessary to set a stop loss. A perfect example of that is CYBL. There was no need for a stop loss once it bottomed out here at 1 penny. It stayed at 1 penny and above 1 penny. Even here, when it dumped on that Ukraine Russia war, when that happened, it dropped, but people bought the dip immediately, pushed it back above 1 penny. So this thing held 1 penny since February 2022, and the only reason it even dropped under that was because of the CE designation. If that had never happened, we probably would continue to hold up here because it was just once it finds a bottom, it really can't go any lower. Like you get to the point where it just can't go any lower. I mean, AITX, same thing. It couldn't go any lower than 002s, and now it's at like what 007s, almost the same share price as Ilus, despite being a worse company on the financials as of right now, even though it also has a worse share structure. But that aside, there's the game plan. You buy around here if it goes to those levels, and you sell anywhere on the way up. And the stop loss is no stop loss. I don't think that's necessary. I know some people want to add stop losses, but I think once you find a bottom on something, there's just no reason to. There's no reason. I don't even know why I would add a stop loss at this point. So there you go. I mean, if you want to add a stop loss, I would probably just add it under 005s, like 0049 maybe. So that would be just in case it decides to break down lower than that for some reason. So that would be like your stop loss if you optional. I'll call it optional stop loss, but I'm not adding a stop loss. I'm not adding a stop loss. Just to be clear, just want to reiterate that I don't think it's necessary for stocks that have bottomed out. I mean, Tilray, look at that. Look at that bottom. You see that bottom? Is there any reason to set a stop loss? I mean, you could under 1.45, you could set a stop loss, but ultimately just buy the bottom and sell it when it goes to the top. If you're going to short, you don't want to short bottoms, you want to short tops. It's that simple of a strategy. And that is it for the video. ASNS, if you want me to go over the PR, what is it, military contracts? Let me check real quick. That's another thing I want to talk about is QIND, ILIS, and SAMO. They all have one thing in common. Can you guess what that thing is? ILIS, QIND, and SAMO. Can you guess what they all have in common? Common, not cumin. That's a sauce. No, that's not a sauce. It's some kind of powder, I'm sure. Cumin, or whatever, however it's pronounced. Someone's going to make a cum joke, but ASNS. You know what the difference is between SAML, QND, and ILIS? Between SAML, QND, ILIS, and ASNS? Can you guess? This one's pretty easy. Why did ASNS move today? Because of a PR. That's the reason it moved. How many PRs does ILIS, QND, and SAML drop? They rarely drop PRs. I think ILIS has only dropped like what 5-6 PRs in 6 months. So one PR a month on average. Out of those 6 PRs, maybe one of them actually moves the share price. So what? So if we do the math, what out of out of 6 PRs, you get maybe one of them that moves the share price. That's not bad actually. But that's why we buy in under 007, under 00s for the next PR that actually moves it. That's the math right there. But let's see. Telus receives new orders to supply 3 military bases with cyber-hardened networking technology. Continued momentum with U.S. military. Okay, so this again, I'm reading through this, and this has nothing. This has nothing to do with QAND, Eilish, or Samuel. It's just its own stock doing its own thing. Ultimately, if anyone bought this, it was because they acquired QIND and they thought, oh, let me buy some ESNS, let me just throw some money at it, I guess. But other than that, this is the kind of run you wanted to see on Samo Ilis QIND. Not this is irrelevant to us ultimately. But yeah, that's what happens when you don't drop PRs. Without PRs, without headlines, we don't move. We don't. In fact, I don't know why we moved here. Here we moved from 0074s to a high of 001. What it says 0012. So I don't. Does anyone know why it moved here? Because there was no PR. I don't know why it moved, but it did. This was a pretty weak move too compared to this one. This one was a PR move right here. That's a PR move, and this happened at the beginning of the year. So when this thing drops PRs, it can move, and that's why I'm adding here in 00 land. So I would highly suggest adding Ilus. That's it. That's all I'm going to say. That is it for the video. If you want to buy QND and Samo because you think it's going to run 500%, I mean, go for it. But I if anything, buy whatever company is going to acquire Samo. If that's gonna be Ilis's strategy to uplist, uh, because ASNS is acquiring QND, right? And ASNS is the one that ran. So if anything, whatever company acquires Samuel or Rescue or whatever the name change is going to be, I think Rescue, right? Or was it going to be Fire? Whatever company acquires Samuel, because it should happen by the end of this month, because they said both of their subsidiaries were going to uplist by mid this year. So maybe buy shares of whatever company is going to be the one acquiring SAML or Rescue or whatever it's going to be called. That might be the play because right now ASNS is the one that ran, not QID. Anyone holding QID is still holding a gigantic bag, especially if they're holding above 10 cents. So if anything, you want to put your money into the company acquiring SAML. That's what I'm thinking. That's what's going through my head. That might be the play because we just saw some pretty key information here. The company acquiring is the one that ran, not the actual, not actually QND, unfortunately, for the ones holding that one. So those are my thoughts. Make what you want of it. I think ultimately, at least because it is the parent company, that's the one you want to buy and load up down here at 00s. It's actually cheaper than QND and Samuel, believe it or not. So I think this is the one to buy. People are going to sleep on this one, and then when it does run, they'll chase it. It'll go to 3 cents or whatever. We'll make a lot of money. We'll rinse and repeat. And that is it for the video. Don't forget to like and subscribe. I will see you guys in the next one.